Good afternoon, everybody. We've got a lot of people attending today, so we're still letting all of the people that are attending get registered. But my name is Tiffany Tarr, and I'm with Distributor Central. And today we've got Pam Pennington from Aprons on the phone with us today. And she's going to be presenting about masks and the different options and the different things that you should be thinking about and asking your customers should be thinking about that they might not be thinking about. I'm really excited for today's webinar because I'm really excited to learn about some of the different variations and some of the different applications and what masks are appropriate for what situation, because they're things that I don't know that I've thought about, and I don't know that a lot of people have thought about because we've not been in this situation before. And masks are just something that are probably not going away anytime soon. But today's session will be all around masks and how to ask those questions and how to find the right one for the right application for your customer. And then I'm going to show you through one of our website presentations how to take the content and the information and build a saved list that you can easily send over to your customers every time they call in or send an email asking questions about masks. And then also show you how to use the presentation tools to create kind of a living presentation or a living resource where your customers can go to get more information or different options on masks for their employees or their families or whatever there is they're going to be using those products for. Just for housekeeping purposes today, Pam is going to start here in just a minute, but if you have questions about any of the content, either from Aprons or from Distributor Central, use that chat functionality to send those questions in. And we've got people from Distributor Central, and we've got Laura from Aprons on the phone with us as well. So she'll be helping, and Aubrey from Distributor Central will be helping field all those questions and make sure that we get you everything and all the resources that you need out of today's webinar. But again, we've got Pam Pennington from Aprons, and she's just got a vast set of knowledge on kind of how you should be presenting this and things you should be thinking about as we're going to be starting to deal with this mask demand. I think a little bit differently than the initial mask demand. Before it was just get them out there, but now there's so many different options that are going to be available, and it's making sure we want to make sure that you can help your customer choose the right option for the right application. So Pam, are you ready to go?
I'm ready. And thank you, Tiffany, and hello, everyone. I really appreciate you taking time to attend today, and I'm confident you will find it useful. I want to mention that we've been a longtime partner with Distributor Central. They actually manage our website, and we work with Aubrey Weaver, and we've been very pleased with our relationship with DC. Again, my name is Pam Pennington. I'm the VP of Strategic Partnerships for Aprons, etc. And we've been a supplier in the promotional products industry since 1984, and I've been with the company for over 15 years. I put together this webinar today from information and tips that we as a company have been studying over the past few months. And it relates to the demand we've seen emerging and the needs of you, our distributor partners, for your clients. The training has helped our management and customer service team feel qualified to call ourselves mask specialists. And the learning process is going to continue for all of us, but I hope to share information with you today to make you the mask specialist for your clients. And as Tiffany mentioned, since we have a lot of information to cover, I'm going to move pretty quickly through the slides to help you get answers that might come to mind while I'm talking. We do have Laura, our customer service manager, reviewing and answering your questions, and we'll have a Q&A after the presentation. So basically, our class curriculum today will fall into 3 categories: regulations and guidelines, styles and types of mask and face coverings, and clients and prospects for this type of PPE. Just a little history refresher, and yes, this is history we are not all in the middle of now. On January 20th, the first case of COVID 19 was confirmed in the U.S., and then on May 13th, a national emergency was declared. And I don't know about you guys, but it's been a very, very long, stressful 5 months for all of us. I want to share some reference articles with you and a relative quote I found. In times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. I found this recent article in our local newspaper, and there were several strong statements I wanted to point out. This is a very large and growing market where many retail and celebrity brands are already releasing masks with their brands. And as we all know, the promotional product industry always does best when it follows retail trends. And finally, a very relative quote for our industry in this product: what you're offering is the most valuable real estate for your client's brand, a person's face. If you do a quick search online, you'll find many of the national name brands have already added face masks to their lines. PPAI has been doing some recent surveys in our industry, and this is just one of the questions. And it asks, where do you think we are in the timeline of COVID 19's impact on our industry? By far, the majority felt we were just in the middle or still in the beginning of this. And I think this demonstrates what we've been seeing on the national level. TPAI also sponsored a webinar that you can view online. It's not only covers masks, but other PPE. But just a heads up on this one, it does contain a lot of in-depth information. If after today's webinar you feel you need this, I can certainly suggest this source for you. In a recent article from ASI, they included a graphic I wanted to share with you, and it shows how much masks and PPE have influenced our searches for products on ESP. Pens, of course, remain the only item still in the top 10. And I felt this was a great industry visual to show what is selling right now. Want to go over some vocabulary terms with you in school today. So, as we talk to our clients, it's important not only for us to feel like we're well informed, but using the right terms and having the right information gives our clients confidence to partner with us for this very important purchase. First, coronaviruses are named for their crown like spikes. Second, this was a news to me until recently. There are several types of coronavirus, including the common cold. COVID 19 is the disease that comes from the novel coronavirus. For corona, COVID 19 comes from CO for corona, VI for virus, D for disease, and 19 for 2019. And a new term many of you may not be familiar with is source control. And that's referring to masks that provide source control by preventing spread to others. So, short term, mask sales have the potential to keep your business afloat. Long term, it can grow your business by adding new customers and improve relationships because masks seem to be a personal type sale since this pandemic is certainly a shared experience with all of us. So let's talk first about some rules and regulations. There were a lot of new regulations and guidelines that had to be put in place when the national emergency was declared. Many of the ones that were in place already for masks were designed to protect medical personnel. To start with, FDA put in force an emergency use authorization that's pronounced EWA. And what it did is it reclassified face masks for use by the general public. CDC then came in and said non-medical cloth and disposable masks are now considered textile consumer products or in the apparel category. FTC and Customs and Border said we're going to put some requirements that say you need to give us fiber identification, country of origin, care instructions, and manufacturer's ID numbers. The Consumer Product Safety Improvement Act does cover children's masks are included in that. And for our California customers, all Prop 65 requirements are still in place for face masks. The CDC made these recommendations about cloth face masks, and they include completely covering the mouth and nostrils, fitting snugly against the sides of the face, being breathable fabric and machine washable. Additionally, cloth face coverings should not be worn by children under the age of 2. Anyone who has trouble breathing and anyone unable to remove the mask without assistance. There were also some suggested fabric choices for face masks, and primarily being they need to be tightly woven. But on that list included cotton, natural silk, and a polyester spandex. And there's actually an additional benefit from the polyester spandex blend, and that's that it can hold a static charge, which has been shown to be helpful with viruses. So with this fabric, you get the mechanical benefits of a tight weave along with the electrostatic benefits. Most of our face masks are produced with a very soft performance fabric that is polyester and spandex, and that's for proper fit and breathability, but it offers a special cool blend for comfort. Let's talk now about styles and types of face mask and coverings, and we certainly have a plethora of masks available in our industry. So let's see if we can break them down a little bit for you. First, I want to encourage everyone to order a sample of any mask you're proposing. For aprons, etc., these are no charge by mail, and if you want to have them shipped UPS or FedEx, just provide us a shipping account. Also, any masks shown in this presentation that are our products will have a style number listed beside the image. So make a note as you see one that you would like to get a sample. You send those requests to our info@ email address, and I'll have that for you at the end of the session today. With this product group, maybe more than others we've encountered, it's going to be necessary for you to be a consultant to your client. And that's going to start with who will be wearing the mask. Is it going to be employees, visitors, students? This will help you identify a mask and a size. In what environment will the mask be worn? Is it going to be inside, outside? Are they going to wear it all day? Is it intermittent use? In hand state, just like event products, most mask programs have a target start date, so be sure to find that information. And very important, once your client gets their mask, how are they going to distribute them to the wearers? And will there be one or multiple ship-to addresses? The first direction you need to determine is if your client needs a disposable option, excuse me, or a cloth, branded or unbranded. Factors to consider with that are going to be economy, which is generally the disposable. You're also going to need to know if branding is desired, or will a blank mask work? Levels of protection they want to see. Long-term or temporary use. And as a side note, masks that are sold for employees, remember to provide sufficient quantity for washing. which has generally been 3 to 5 per person. If it's a disposable mask, you need to provide one per day or use cycle. Let's talk a few minutes about safety. And a civilian 3-ply disposable mask does not have the same filtration protection as a medical surgical mask. Those are usually designated as level 2 or 3 when you see them. But many perceive this type of mask the same way they do the medical mask. Also, since it's considered a disposable, a lot of people prefer wearing it instead of having to wash fabric mask every day. But the best protection is not just a perception, it's often a reality. Another disposable civilian mask is the KN95. It provides the same protection as the best approved mask, the N95. The KN95 is a mask made to Chinese medical standards with the same filtration as the US N95, which is only approved for medical personnel. So if you want to get superior protection, the best mask available for civilian use is actually going to be the KN95 disposable. So if your clients have safety concerns, the disposable mask may be something you want to discuss. There are going to be several general categories of face mask designs, and the most popular are the earlobe loop styles. And that can be elastic with or without adjustability, stretch fabric that's usually not adjustable, openings cut in the design, and also these can represent an add-on sale for you with ear saver devices available from our industry. One factor to consider when recommending a mask to your client is if the mask is to be worn for a long period of time or just intermittently. This type mask usually hangs around your neck until you need to put it on your face. And this would include the masks that have neck and head ties with them. It also includes the bandanas and scarves, and neck gaiters are in this category for intermittent wear. And that usually allows the face to be covered only when needed. However, since we're entering the summertime, be aware of the comfort of a face covering when it's around your neck. Also, when suggesting a mask that will be worn in a work setting, make sure you've addressed safety concerns, for instance, straps that could get caught in machinery. Intermittent wear options are actually also available for masks with the ear loops. And they're going to include lanyards that work well, glove clips, and magnetic clips. Again, all of these are available to you from our industry. For your clients who specify only USA masks, first find out if their need is blank or imprinted. And the other note is the pleated style of flat masks that are shown here, which are available both fabric and disposable, are generally not able to be imprinted. As you'll recall, we talked a few minutes ago about the CDC recommendation for how a cloth mask should fit the wearer's face. So in addition to design, this can be accomplished by selecting the proper sized mask. For adults, one feature that helps with sizing is to have either adjustable ear loops or ties. We have a size that's considered youth and small. This can be for women, children over 12, or smaller adult faces. Also, adult aprons, etc., now offers children's masks, and they do meet SIPSIA requirements for children under 12 years of age. So when you're talking to your customer, you might find that they need a combination of these sizes, and schools are a primary situation like that. One other suggestion I have for you is I've seen some concerns about masks on children or employees related to identification, since the mask covers a lot of the wearer's face. You can offer options of color coded masks with different logos for schools, for instance, or job titles for an employer. This could help identify work zones. Another important feature of our sized face mask is there are several styles that are the same designs, just sized differently. So you can provide continuity with what you provide your client. If you recall, one of the requirements for a good face mask was it was breathable, but also maintained a seal against the side of the wearer's face. So this is especially a challenge for the summer's hotter, more humid days. There is unfortunately an inverse relationship between protection and breathability. Masks that create airspace in front of the nose are generally the more breathable, and usually they'll be sewn structured shape that have a seam down the center. Pleated styles generally work better for this. A stiffer fabric can work for this as long as the sides are still touching. And of course, performance fabrics that allow for better breathability. If you're talking to your client about a logoed mask, there are several important methods to consider. For screen printed or heat transfers, which are usually done on cotton or blended fabric, one thing to remember is that masks require frequent washing. So you're probably going to need to advise the customer there may be fading of the imprint. An important thing to be aware of is what type of inks are used to imprint them and any precautions that may exist for them, especially since the printed masks are being worn on the face. Another option is dye sublimation, which is going to be a polyester fabric. They do offer permanent full color imprints. You have no surface imprint to block airflow over the face. There are no precautions for it being worn on the face. Another option to consider is going to be actually embroidery, which can be done on a multiple choice of fabrics, and that may offer an upscale look for your client. When you work with your clients on their branded face mask, basically you're both trying to make something that's horrific seem appealing. The goal is going to be to create something that the wearer will want to put on their face. So, good design is important for these goals. The most popular choice is generally on the side, either one or both. If you're going to put it on a single side, the left side is more popular as it is with shirt logos. Consider the mask style. Often you may need to put the logo in the center of the mask. Step and repeat is a great branding option as a subtle way to do your branding, or a pattern with a single imprint on the side. Some types of masks require or will accommodate filters. So when consider the cost and availability of filters when suggesting this mask type for your client. You can purchase mask filters. Most of the time, they're going to be HEPA or carbon, something with that kind of category, and they're about $1 to $2 a piece. For employees, you would need to provide a minimum of one per week. And there are also homemade options people are using. They include coffee filters or other pieces of fabric and paper towels. One of the important questions to ask our clients is how they intend to distribute the mask to their customers or employees. Bulk packaging with a disposable or fabric mask is often not the preferred way to distribute a product that's going to be worn on somebody's face. However, there may be economy with this type packaging. Most of our fabric masks are individually bagged, as are our KN95 disposables. Many feel this is the most sanitary way to handle distribution. So let's talk about some clients and prospects for this group. And generally, from our experience, it's any business that's decided to open that is going to be dealing with the public or close quarters in their work environment. And another thing to remember is this masks are a great self-promo product, as are schools now is the big thing. School's about to start, so there are many bids nationwide for students and teachers. But don't forget, in a school environment, a bookstore that can sell masks, or even a fundraising opportunity. So there are many different businesses that are already your customers, and hopefully some new prospects too. Many businesses are requiring their employees and customers to wear face masks, and that varies by state, and the list is growing daily. Uh, Airlines, we know, have to have a mask. Big box retail, both employees and customers. Nationwide chains of some restaurants and grocery. But I want to add another note to the retail grouping. In addition to customers and employees, since most of our face masks are individually bagged, they are also suitable for retail sales. So if you have a local retail location or gift shop, really anyone like that, you can create a nice, exciting design and they can sell the mask at their location. Before I leave you today, I wanted to let you know that Aprons, etc. can help you with other needs related to this group of prospects. And we have new tents that can be used at building entrances to help disinfection of visitors and employees. Our waterproof table covers can be sanitized regularly throughout the day while they're still on the table, and those can be done custom sizes. And one of the most popular products by far has been our chair headrest covers, and we have about 4 styles of this. And they're used in to denote social distancing, seating in venues and businesses. And recently, we've added in stock hand sanitizers in 3 sizes. This is our contact information from when you need to reach out to us. So thank you again for attending today. Please let us know how we can help you become mask specialists for your clients. As a closing comment, from a personal standpoint, please wear your mask, guys. Help protect those around you. And from a business standpoint, go out and sell masks so others can protect you. And I'm going to turn the presentation over to Tiffany and Aubrey. They're going to speak for a few minutes about how Distributor Central can help you be successful.
Pam, when we started doing this webinar series with suppliers, I really where my heart was in doing it is helping distributors get information that they need to continue to sell and make technology available to them to help them continue to sell, and then using consultative selling with technology. And this has been one of the most enlightening webinars that I have attended in a really long time. I am so thankful, just as a consumer, to start with all of the content that you've provided about masks. I was telling Pam before the webinar started, my son went back to weights and to football camp, which we're so thankful for, but we want to keep those kids in weights and football camp. And I was at a loss on what to do for masks. I didn't know what kind of a mask I needed to give to him to keep him safe and also to let him continue to breathe. And this is the information that consumers, and I'm even in the promotional products, and we just don't know. We don't know what to do, but we want to do the right thing and keep our kids and our employees and the people around us safe. And this webinar has been outstanding and provided so much additional content that I don't even know that I thought about prior to today. So I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. The biggest question that And the biggest question that I'm seeing out of all of the questions that are coming in is it possible to make some of these slides available to distributors?
Sure.
Okay.
Most of the as far as the PowerPoint, anyone can reach out to me, and I can send them the presentation, and they can edit it as they see fit. And I think you guys are going to have a recorded version if
We
they just
do.
need someone to within their company to see it. There'll be a recorded version available both through Distributor Central and also on our website. And I know there are a lot of questions. We anticipated this. So anything that doesn't get answered by the end of the day, by the end of the presentation, we will be sure to get answered for you soon.
Okay. Thank you, Pam. Thank you so much. And Pam has talked so much about different different segments of consumer, different types of masks that are out there. And so from Distributor Central standpoint, Aprons, et cetera, is one of those really amazing suppliers that believes in technology, and their product information is on Distributor Central, and everything that Distributor Central does, we do at no cost for distributors. So we want to help you take some of these product sets and these segmented sets of masks that Pam has talked about, and to be able to quickly put those together so that you can be this educated and get that information to your customer so that they can make the right product selection. So when I was thinking about how we could do that, one of the tools that Distributor Central has available to you is what we call a presentation website. The presentation website, all I did in this like really quick little presentation site is I uploaded a logo, and I got a little cheeky with it. And we put a mask on Distributor Central's logo, but you can put your own logo up there. And then I created some product sets through my saved list and my collections, where I can update this website, and I can give my customers areas that they can go to on this presentation that have all the masks that are perfect fits for children, so they can see those. And so they're not looking at a ton of masks at one time. And then masks for back to school. They had mentioned a couple of masks that they really recommend for going back to school. So I created a product list with masks for back to school and added that to this presentation website. Doing this is really simple within your account. The way that you would do that is I pulled all of the masks from Aprons, et cetera, up, and I've been creating these little saved lists in my list section. And so I started to create another one for disposable masks. And all I have to do to add that to that presentation website that I can send over to my customers is I created a new list, and now I'm just going to add a couple of disposable options to my collection. And once I've done that, now I've created this set of products that I can do a couple of things with. Now that it's saved as one of my lists, I can look at my list and I can email this over to my customers, and I can save time by building these lists now, and they're always available and ready for me just to pop over to a customer the next time I get somebody that calls me and says, hey, I need masks that are disposable, or I've got an event coming up, what's the best recommendation? I don't have to go and do that search again. I can come back down to my list and see all the ones that I've already created. Or what I can do is I can create a little presentation site like I just showed you, and I can add this to my presentation website. I'm just going to give my collection a name, and then I'm going to choose the website that I want to add it to. And my website that I'm working on, my little demo one, is called Mask, and add it to that presentation site. And so then the next time somebody goes to my presentation, they can now see another, and it looks like I did back to school twice, they can see that section of disposable masks, and I can then segment this presentation, just like Pam talked about, for different applications, different consumers that are going to be using it, different fits. Maybe you've got a customer that really just wants to see all of the loops versus all of the tie masks. You can use Distributor Central's presentation website and format to create saved searches and lists that you can use over and over again, or a presentation website that you can send out to all your customers that is just really designated to masks. There's other options that you can use Distributor Central for to communicate that. We could help you build a company store, or we could help you build, we've got some really great templates that are centered around PPE or other templates that you could use. And Distributor Central is a free resource to you. It's sponsored by companies like Aprons, et cetera, who has also sponsored all of this really great content that you can use to help your customers make the best choices when choosing a mask. So if you're not familiar with Distributor Central, please reach out to us and we'll get you usernames and passwords and show you how you can take the content that Pam's talked about today and turn it around and use technology to get it to your customers to help them understand what they need to be purchasing and the things that they need to be thinking about as they're buying these types of products for their companies or their organizations. So I hope that we've answered all the questions that have come in. If we haven't, we will both get lists of all the questions that have come in, and we will make sure to reach out to everybody, make sure all of those questions get answered. We did record this webinar because there is so much great content, and everyone will get a copy of the webinar and the presentation and all this good information today. Pam, is there anything else that you want to add in for everyone who attended today?
I have just tried to look down the questions that came in, and I think Laura got a lot of them, but what we'll do is go in and see who didn't get answers. A lot of them were relative to questions that came up that were addressed later on, hopefully, but if not, we'll get them addressed. So you have my email address, you have our info address. Please feel free to just reach out to us if you have a specific project you're working on, and we'll go from there.
Sure. And if anybody has questions about how to take this and use technology to get it to your customers, please reach out to myself. You can email me at ttar@distributorcentral.com or info@distributorcentral.com. But I really appreciate everyone attending today. I very much appreciate Aprons, et cetera, for breaking down the confusion that could be these masks. And I think that in the beginning, we were just trying to get masks out. And I think now with this kind of second phase or second level, it's really, you've got an opportunity to ask some questions and really be a consultant to your customer and make sure we're getting them the right choice for what they really need and the person that's really going to be using it. So this was really, really fabulous information that you provided to our distributors today. So.
Thank you,
I appreciate everyone's time. If there's more questions, I'll leave the chat open a little bit longer. Thank you, Pam and Laura. Aubrey, thank you. But if anybody needs anything else, please let us know.